Okay, all you sports fans, welcome back to my Alice set of tutorials. This is 100 Visions, guys, and we are live. Actually, it's recorded, so broadcasted earlier, at Glencoe High School as I am doing a quick workshop on programming for beginners. And so we're going to talk about Alice, and the first thing I want to go over is I think a really huge issue here with Alice. In 3D worlds, you have much power, but with much power comes much responsibility. So when you're working in Alice, it's real easy to have wonky things happen. So let's say I add an object and I add an animal and I want to find Bob the chicken. Where's the chicken? Oh, there he is. I saw him. So I'm going to add the chicken to the world. And of course, who wouldn't want a frog in the world either? So we're going to add a frog. And so we got a couple objects here. The frog and the chicken are really close. And then I'm going to move the chicken around. And uh-oh, what happened to the chicken? Where'd the chicken go? I can't find him. Okay, so sometimes in Alice, you're going to have a hard time finding an object. Because it's real easy, especially if you have 30 objects. Just ask some of my students. They've got so many objects. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of them all. So the question is, how do you get an object back when you've lost it? Okay, chicken. That's what we lost. Where did the chicken go? We don't know. What I can do is use the chicken's methods to help get it back. So now I could do camera, get a good look at this, but then my camera is going to move away from the frog and I'm going to lose the frog. So I'm going to do, we've got move to camera. And you see the yellow line? The yellow line means that he's somewhere nearby. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly where he is, so I can move him if I want to. Actually, better yet, let's just move the camera back a little. And there's the chicken. So now I've got him again. So wherever the chicken was, I've got him, and I can move him back using my little arrow key. And now he's up in the ground. Now he's sitting up here. We don't how do we get him back to the ground? Okay. So sometimes that will happen. If the chicken noises are my students, in case you were wondering, but they are not indeed chickens. They're actually people. All right, so no, they're all people. Okay, so now we got chicken floating in the air. Now, flying chickens, they can jump and they can kind of fly. I've never really seen them migrate or anything, but I have seen them kind of jump up and kind of go quite a distance, but we don't want them suspended in the air. So what we want to do is we want to move the chicken back to the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to do chicken. And I told this to someone else, and I can't remember this is the right way to do it. I'm going to say orient to ground, and let's see if that works. No, it's orient to. It's like he's facing it. That wasn't it. It's there somewhere. Orient, I guess it's move to ground. There we go. Okay. Now what we can do is we can move the chicken and the frog. Hopefully if we move him around. Oh, I see. He's in turn mode. I need that. Move objects freely. Now I can move him around. Okay, so there's the chicken. There's the frog. And hold on just a second. Okay, so now I want to talk about the camera, because every now and then you're going to move around, and if you've ever done this before, suddenly everything goes blue. And you're like, uh-oh, my camera is now all wonky. Well, it's because the camera is under the ground, and this, there are limitations to this program. So what we can do now is we can move the camera to the ground. Move to ground. Uh-oh, that didn't get us where we wanted to. And I guess we can move the camera around up. But see, now we're realizing that this is not always the best method to get the camera back. And we could do a move up. Just do move up 5 meters. But we had to know we were up 5 meters. So you're going to immediately find out that sometimes this camera can get really confusing. And we get it lost. So, where did the objects go? I can't even see them anymore, right? So the camera, they're probably down. But see, that was just kind of a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click done. And everything's kind of messed up a little bit. I can move my objects back to where the camera is, but I really want to avoid having this trouble ever again, okay? And so to avoid ever having this kind of a trouble, wouldn't it be great if you could just have a location where your camera is, and we count at the starting location, and we can always move the camera back. So let me show you the best way to do that. So in a way, we got to get restored. I'm actually just going to do a new world for this because I'm really not invested in that one. It's got a chicken and a frog, for crying out loud. So let's go to the grass, and we're going to put it here. Now, I want to show you, this is a really important step here on the camera, and I think we have to be in Add Objects mode. Add Objects mode, yes. Okay, we're in the world. We grab the camera. There is more controls. See this? Drop dummy at camera. Now, dummies are invisible, okay? So if I drop a dummy at the camera, it's going to put like a marker where I am right here. Bam, okay? There is a dummy there. And then I go like this, and then I go forward, and I'm lost, don't know where I am. I can always, at any point, move the camera to a dummy. And I can move it to dummy. And I'm right back where I started. Okay, so that's going to be a really important one. And here's what's cool. So we're going to do a little find the animal game, and your job is to find the animal or whatever. Or you're going to just have this really interesting one where there's a fish. Good thing he's in the air. Floating fish are way more fun. And now I'm going to go over and add a cow here. Okay, and so cow. There's the cow. Can't even see the cow. But what we're going to do is I am going to turn, hopefully so I can see the cow. Once again, we're having issues here. Okay. Well, I don't know where the cow is, so I can either move the camera to the cow. I can say, camera, get a good look at the cow, entire cow. There it is. Okay. Now I can drop another dummy at this camera. Okay, then I can move around some more. Now I think I want to look up a little bit more, and we'll go over here. We're just going to have a couple random locations throughout this program, and different animals. And let's jump over a little bit here, and let's get a lemur. Who doesn't love a good lemur? And there. Oh no! Guess what happened? I see what's happening. They're all getting placed to the same location. Let's move back to dummy 2. There's the cow, there's the lemur. So I'm going to have to move these objects around. So let's go to quad view. Click the lemur. And then, by the way, when you're in quad view, you can see from the top. I like to look down on everything, but sometimes I'm too close or I'm too far away. So I click on the zoom, and I can zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit more, and now I can move these objects a lot further apart. Just make sure you're selecting the object itself. Sometimes you click and it selects the ground. I'm going to select the lemur over here. There. Now you can see as I'm moving the lemur around, I can do it over there. Okay, so there's the lemur, and I want to move the fish too. Oh good, the fish is in a different location. All right, so let's go back to single view. And then let's go back out of this. Oh, wait. We got to do one other thing. We got to be in this view to do it. So we're going to do camera, get a good look at the lemur. The entire lemur. And then while we're looking at the lemur, we're going to drop a dummy at the camera. So now we have 3 dummies. Dummy, dummy 2, dummy 3. You can rename those. This is dummy 3, and that's lemur. Well, I think we can rename it. Oh, there it is. Lemur. Dummy 2 was cow. And then the first dummy was starting point. Let's put start. So now we have a list of dummy objects that are invisible to the user, but they are available. So now I'm going to get out of this view. And I am going to drop the camera method. And it's somewhere here. Maybe it's just move. No. Move to dummy objects start. There's our starting point. That's where we started. Let's zoom up a little bit so we can see. And there's the fish. Okay, and then we can move to the different locations. And you could even, on here, under World My First Method, we could program the camera. So we could say camera, move to, dummy objects, move to cow, and then I'm just going to duplicate it, make copy, and we're going to move to the lemur. So what's cool about this now is you can actually program things to follow paths. So, whoa, hey, press play. We moved one, moved to the next, and we can't see it. So, but hey, we can move things around. That just gives you an idea of how to get started. Alice.